thing. No one cares. And I just became like a painkiller pop. I just know if it's like 2 painkillers pop, and then especially like in a corporate work environment, it's like, when am I going to stop and start explaining that I'm
exactly.
Already you're losing 10 opportunities just by acknowledging the elephant in the room that, oh, by the way, guys, I'm a girl. And then it's like immediately not taken seriously.
Hey guys, this is Anesu, aka Nyati Shonga.
Hello, my name is Chido, aka Chizzy.
Wagwan.
Advocate Amanda here.
Hi everyone, this is Kuda, aka Cooks.
Hi, and welcome to
As Told by Us,
the podcast. This is a weekly podcast where 4 professional millennials discuss living in Zimbabwe and trying to figure life out.
Someone once told us the grass is much greener on the other side.
But from where we're standing, our grass is green. Subscribe, like,
Share,
comment down below.
I'm 23-year-old female. I'm best friends with 23-year-old female and 23-year-old male. We have been friends for over 10 years. Last year, my 2 friends decided to date. Are you following?
Yeah.
Wonderful. One night, the male one in the friendship innocently hit on me. Right? So he started off by sleeping on my shoulder, but then he went and he got closer and closer to my vagina.
What?
How
would you premise that's with innocence? He tripped and
from shoulder to vagina.
But he was touching. It was a touch, right?
Still, baby girl.
He touched me, but we did not have sex. And then I pushed him away.
How far did the touching go?
That night ended with him telling me that he will get me something if I don't tell his girlfriend her other best friend. I nodded at him, but then he kissed me. I said goodbye and he went home. I'm very sad and afraid that I will lose my friend, girl, if I don't tell her. But I will also lose my friend, boy, if I do tell her.
Girl.
I know he was drunk, and I know what he did was wrong. So, what should I do? Do I keep it a secret? Or do I pretend it never happened? Please help. Signed, Anonymous.
That boy is not your friend.
Sorry. I love the way she didn't give us an option of, do I tell my female friends?
Yes, do I tell her or do I...
Do I keep it a secret?
Do I tell her or do I keep it a secret? So, because in either case,
I don't want to lose either one.
I don't want to lose either of my friends. They're both my best friends.
I don't want to be too technical, but what does she mean on the touching?
That's my thing as well.
Because it sounds like something happened, but because she said,
why would
she still have sex? So that sounds like we did everything except sex.
Exactly. I mean, they made out. She said we kissed, they touched.
Isn't this a stop it I like it situation? Because she doesn't seem very convinced about it.
Yeah. It sounds like she wants the guy, but it's awkward now.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm getting that vibe. So what should she do? Who are you most loyal to?
Who was I friends with first?
They've all been friends. lot of
been
time.
friends for
They've
10
all been
years.
friends for 10 years. It's a friendship.
But obviously one had to start in January on the same day. One started in March.
It sounds like the trapo.
in the friendship.
Without the other friend knowing that they're a throuple.
She knows. She knows. What was happening?
Wait, how old are they?
They're 23.
They
How
sound
did
so
they
young.
end up alone?
The two of them. Let me sleep, she said.
Watching a movie, though.
She just said one night we were drunk. Well, he was drunk, she said. Not she was drunk. She said he was drunk. And it started off innocent with him sleeping on my shoulder.
Lord.
But as time went on, they got closer and closer. And then he said, don't tell the other hand, which means she wasn't there. It was just
Yeah,
the two
that's
of
the
them.
thing. These guys know what they're doing. So I don't know, why are you bringing us this problem?
You're just
You know what she
No,
really.
us out.
Because first of all, right, if it's the three of you started together, why are they hanging out alone without the other friend?
Especially
Also-
now that she's a girlfriend.
There's definitely an element of intention on both sides. She's trying to act innocent, and I don't know what she wants us to tell her.
Hey, I also don't know.
There's no
I was gonna say, just do whatever you want to do, bruh. Because you clearly know what you want to do. You want this guy, but you just don't want to come out and say it.
Yeah, but it's also late. I can't now say it because now you're already dating him.
And that's the thing. I don't think she even really wants him. She just doesn't want to be the third one who
Yeah.
wasn't the one.
Because I'm sure that obviously their friendship dynamic has also changed. Imagine like we were
Yeah.
just the friends, the three of us, it was cool, everything was going great. And now the two of you just decided, let's vibe, let's date. So now what happens to the friendship? So it's also like you guys didn't care about me when you entered into this relationship. So why must I?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
They're a throuple. They were supposed to be a throuple. What those two have done, right? The boyfriend and the friend, they've already done what they've done. What they've done is enough.
What?
She was joining.
What I'm saying is, right, like, look, say it's the... Okay, we can't use us as an example.
No, never.
In their example, right, the fact that the two of them have gone this far, right, which is everything before sex, and enough to be a secret from the other girl, they've already crossed that line. Because either the three of them are dating, or the two of them are cheating, and still it blows up, or the three of them are not friends anymore. But whatever she wants from us, I don't know what she wants from us, man. I don't know why I'm upset with the dilemma at hand today, but
She wants permission. That's what she wants to go ahead.
you've already done it, Mom.
I actually think that's what it is. I
wants
think she
permission to
wants
go
us
further.
to say, it's okay.
Keep it a secret.
Keep it a secret. Continue doing what you're doing. It's okay. You know, I'm sure she's thinking of, okay, but if I keep quiet and nothing, like, I'll make sure that, like, me and this dude don't do anything. Like, this was the first and last
That's
time.
the thing.
We're never
That's the
going to do it
thing.
again.
She loves the sexual tension. She's loving it. Like this. Like I'm telling you, if you were to take the other girl out the picture and leave the dude, she doesn't care.
She doesn't want to.
She wouldn't even do anything with him. But then this situation, this is what she likes. So do what you want, girlie, but your friend is gonna find out.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically you guys are not friends.
And the way you're so close, there's no way you're going to pull off a secret for that long.
Yeah.
Is going to find out, or your male friend is going to slip up and in a heated argument confess. There's so many. It's not going to be a secret for that long.
Or it becomes, you know, one of those like cheeky situations where like they were all like chilling in the house or something, and then she goes to like the bedroom or the bathroom, and then he follows, and then they start like doing like sneaky things because they know she's in the house, so they're
So
trying
she's
to
doing
like.
it for the thrill of it.
Honestly, I feel like that's
exactly what this is. And
Like I
that's
know I'm
why-
with her, but like I really want to be with you type vibes.
And this guy wants to smash both of them and has always wanted to smash both of them from the beginning.
Yeah.
That's the
Christian
And
of
they're just
friends.
basically doing their rotation. So do it and finish, don't bring it to our show.
Why are you mad, bro? Why are you mad?
I mean, this is starting personal, bro.
Wait, what's the dilemma?
We clearly know your stance on having friends of the opposite sex. It's
How do you
a no.
mean? No, it's not about friends. It's about this girl. There's no dilemma here.
Yeah, I agree
How?
with you.
Anonymous. Shame.
Do you know how much resources you have when you guys submit your dilemmas? Like, we really want to apply ourselves, but this kind of thing is just unacceptable.
For quality control purposes, we're gonna put a PSA on it. Like, if you have
No,
to level
really.
yourself, deal with it.
And also, if you know the answer, don't bring it to
Yeah, exactly. Don't come and stress us,
shame.
bruh.
And to the friend, you know, you probably have a feeling about what's going on behind your back.
True.
It's true. Move on. Leave these people alone. They're just busy exciting themselves over just your feelings.
Yeah.
They don't even like each other.
Okay, but I'm going to ask a sub question that was not asked. If you were the friend, right, the girl that doesn't know anything,
The girlfriend.
yeah, the girlfriend, now you find out, who are you upset with?
Both of them.
What the hell?
So we're
I'm
cutting
cutting you
both of them
off.
off. Okay,
Yeah.
but now here's the thing. Are you not cutting them off so that they can now start dating?
They can go.
Oh my gosh.
all
We're
the
so
way
in tune today.
The thing is, first of all, boyfriend, why are you watching movies with someone? Movies. You're watching a movie without me already is cheating.
Why are you getting
Because like,
drunk?
why are you watching a movie without me?
But then you know what? The two that decided to date effed up the whole dynamic.
No, they didn't.
yeah.
No, they did because that was unfair. It was unfair because now the moment that man dem goes and hangs out with the other girl without his girlfriend, then there's
Which is
an
probably something that
element
they've
of
done
cheating
before.
now.
I'm sure they had hung out
Yeah.
as like different,
I'm sure
like the two
before
girls
they had
together,
hung out
him and
separately.
each girl. Yeah.
But now, if you're dating your mate, then it means that the other one in the throuple should have been eliminated.
I have to choose a friend.
You have to
or
choose.
Have no
Yeah,
friends.
you need
Yeah.
to set
And you can't
boundaries.
choose the boyfriend.
Yeah.
And maybe the girlfriend's not even your friend like that, you know?
But they said we're best friends. She said each one is her best friend.
There's nothing like that.
no.
Best is a word attributing to one of them. You can't have two bests.
Clearly, the other girl is not enough of a bestie for her to respect the relationship.
Yeah.
She said it's okay, let's do what
Yeah.
we do.
Because then I'm like,
Because
okay.
even if, like, for example, if I'm hanging out for whatever reason, I'm hanging out with one of you guys as man dem.
Watching a movie.
The moment you want to put your head on my shoulder, bruh, what are we doing?
Shoulder. So you will play the movie. What is the
No, I won't even go to watch the movie. No, but I'm just saying, like, in this situation.
You're waiting for the shoulder.
Are you even on the same seat?
And you know what? Like, let's watch a movie.
It's a movie. Netflix and chill.
Most
Why
romantic
movie?
thing.
We knew what we were doing. The moment he said, "Hey, can I come over?"
Yeah.
You knew.
You see, this is what I'm saying, Kuti. Then he should have broken up with her as a friend the moment that he started dating the other girl.
I think it's because we're so far from just like admitting polyamory. Because even the three-way friendship, what's that?
Exactly.
What's that? Yes,
Tricky situation.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
This boy doesn't know which one of you he wants, so he's going to let the cards unfold themselves. And he knows that once he gets the one, the other one's going to be jealous and also give him. And then
And now he's
This is
got,
how girls
he's got
always
two
lose.
girls, one who's keeping a secret and one who doesn't know. Now you can go watch movies with both of you. Damn it.
and you allow hating. Yeah.
No, this
We're
is
going to
terrible
stop this dilemma thing. You guys are not serious.
I mean, but it was a funny thing.
It was.
Shame.
Wow. Anyway, keep them coming. Keep the dilemmas coming, please. All right. So this week's episode is very special to us because we're going to be celebrating International Women's Day.
When is it?
Okay, it was on Friday. So this
What
episode,
episode?
8 March.
8 March.
8 March. Oh, but it's the whole month, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the whole month, but this episode is going to be coming out on the Monday. So it's like Women's Day was on Friday. But anyway.
Okay.
So anyway, happy International Women's Day to all the galdams, to the pengelis out there. So I just wanted to ask guys, what does International Women's Day mean to you guys?
To me, it feels like a consolation prize. Like a participation ribbon. Like, okay, you're not gonna get equal pay, but here's a day. We were gonna recognize you.
And you know what? You know what's funny? You get 2 days.
You get 2 days.
You get 2 days.
You know
because
what?
remember,
The whole month.
Hey.
no, but think about
Mother's
it.
Day.
No. March is International Women's Day for the Northern Hemisphere. August is International Women's Day for down south. So remember, August is Women's Month, but for the Southern Hemisphere. March is Women's Month in
the Northern
Hemisphere.
So
we get 2 months. But, you know.
But then it's interesting how, because in South Africa, there is Women's Day in September. When is it? August? August. But in Zim, those are just vibes.
We don't recognize the August one.
We
don't recognize any.
It's like international.
It's Women's Day.
It's like International Dog's Day. It's like, it's just a day.
Right? It's like just a day.
It's just a day. I mean, there's international days of everything.
Happy Dog's Day.
Honestly, it sounds like it means nothing to me. To be quite honest, I think it's cute to say, International Women's Day. It's the day that we recognize women. But like you're saying,
Nothing.
Just by recognizing it, you're still not recognizing the actual issues of the woman. What's the point?
Exactly.
What are you doing it for?
I agree. I also feel like this Women's Day thing just kind of started from nowhere, really. Because when I was younger, like when we were in high school or whatever, did we ever have this International Women's Day thing?
Probably not.
Was it as hyped? Or is it just me?
I think it was there. It was just, we were too young.
Because I just feel like it only started like a few years ago. And it's like,
And it also kind of feels like, okay, fine, women, you guys have so many problems. We're going to give you one day where you can come and we'll talk about your things. Like, oh, yay, Women's Day. It's like every other day is just like, okay, business time. And then, okay, Women's Day. All right, fine.
Right,
what's going on? Sexual harassment? What's going on? Breast cancer? Yeah, that's still a thing, right?
Yeah.
What else, guys? Oh, rape. Ooh. And then
that's
we
it.
move
And
on.
then 9 March comes and then it's over. Thanks.
Oh, you guys are so strong.
A month thing.
It is a month thing.
It is a month
but
thing.
I think, again,
we're just saying it's like lip service. It's like,
what's the point?
what's the point? We're just there posting on social media, having all these events. I mean, it's good.
I'm
the money. If the organization decides to throw a Women's Day thing, I'm down for it because, it's part of my cashews. But like, what are you doing? Like, what are we actually
To be fair, I think I kind of like the fact that organizations that I have seen, depending on the kind of events or things that, you're allowed to do, right? So there are others that, take the women out. Maybe they go to a campy situation, let's book the honeys to Bushman Rock or something. That's cute, or let's have just a day of mimosas, bottomless mimosas for the honeys, At least it doesn't help anything, but it's just nice to
I'm
get.
still like,
It's nice to
I'm
get
paid.
things,
I'm a bit iffy about that though. Like, okay, cool, you've given me a nice trip or whatever. But the theme is inclusion and you're not really helping us.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, cool, like, yes, everyone's happy Women's Day, whatever, here are the gifts and whatever.
And you get flowers.
But there's a whole theme, guys, and you're supposed to do something during, I don't even think
During the
month.
course of the year.
During the course of the year, you're supposed to have, as a business or whatever, then show, okay, this is really what we did for women. Because it's nice, guys. Yeah, it's nice for the freebies, but at the same time, you're not getting anything out of it except the freebies for the day.
And then for you to say, that's enough. I've given you flowers, that's fine.
Yeah, and then they'll be like,
Move on
now
now.
women, we're done with you.
Yeah,
We're moving
move on.
on now.
Done with you until next year.
Move on, and then
Until
you know,
August.
and it's like, oh, you got like a cupcake. Oh, that's wonderful. Move on. You know, it's like,
Yeah, so I
so
don't
what's
know.
the point?
But who's getting cupcakes? I didn't get nothing.
You know, well, because you work for yourself.
Yeah.
You should have gotten
You should have gotten yourself cupcakes.
like employer.
I had an ex who got mad at me because I didn't get her something on International Women's Day. Like we had a fight. Like this is me waking up.
I just finished all my sheets on Valentine's Day. No, it was like 2 weeks ago.
I wake up to a message. So you're not giving me anything.
Wait, was this like the following day after Women's Day?
No, it was on Women's Day.
In the morning.
At the end, like.
Oh, she even gave you time.
Yeah.
She was waiting.
So she was waiting for delivery.
And I'm like, what's happening? What's going on?
What's this day?
How
now?
dare you?
Yeah.
How dare you not get anything?
Yeah, how
That's
International
also.
Women's Day.
Broken it's a day of It's a day of celebrating women, and you can't celebrate the woman in your life.
What is it with you?
I sent out a very considerate message on the day, and I was
In the morning, you
Yes,
woke up
in the
and
morning.
said,
You
I was
said
like-
Happy Women's
I
Day.
was like, yo,
You're
Happy Women's Day.
phenomenal.
I didn't, but guys, Women's Day, we know, like, yo, it's like we're addressing women's issues, but in a relationship, we just give them Valentine's. I mean, and plus her birthday, which was much higher. As a nigga, I had to also.
Now we come down to the truth. Because you're trying to stinge
I was
on
not trying to
Women's Day
stinge.
so you could get her a birthday
Yes,
gift.
this is Women's Day box. What's that? What's this way?
Christmas box. Women's Day box. Fine. Whatever.
Wow. All right, on the topic of women's issues, like, I feel like we still deserve to be celebrated because having a vagina is long. It's a lot, hey. I was actually on TikTok. Surprise, surprise, because I'm not on TikTok.
Do you have an account now?
I don't have an account.
Shame.
But you know when you just use it for free without like
Yeah.
whatever. So I was on TikTok and just scrolling, and I'm like, wait a minute, like people don't actually know. Women themselves don't know much about their bodies and
Yeah.
what their bodies go through, the hormones, everything. It's like we're just kind of living, you know, you're just told at a certain age, you're going to reach puberty, and then this is what happens. You bleed for a few days here, use a pad, and that's it. Or like, or don't have sex because you're now going to get pregnant. But like, you don't actually know like what actually is going on in your body. You don't even know your own like menstrual cycle. So I thought it would be cool to just, as a ode to Women's Day, that we would talk about the menstrual cycle and hormones and hormone monsters. All right, so for those who didn't know, right, the menstrual cycle has 4 phases. All right, so there's the menstruation, the follicular phase, the ovulation phase, and the luteal phase.
Okay, so now that the boys have left the episode, let's really get down to it. Let's get to the real tea.
All right, so the real tea, the menstrual phase, obviously, it's
The bleeding.
the bleeding. So that's your 4 days of bleeding.
7. For others.
Yeah,
It's 3 to 7.
3 to 7. So I suppose it depends on your body. Some people will have it better than others. Some people will have 3 days. Other people will have 7. Ish. I can't. 7 days. Ish. Jesus. It's a lot. But anyway, so your hormonal levels at this stage are at their lowest. So I'm sure like when you're sitting at home bleeding, like you're feeling like shit. And that's because your hormonal
You're going
level-
through shit.
Yeah, because you're going through it. Your body is going through it.
And yes, men, it is very painful. We're not exaggerating. It's so. Thank you.
Yeah. I think there's something to be said about like cramps and stuff, because people's bodies are different, right? Other people, it'll just be as if though nothing is happening. But for most women, menstrual cramps are a real thing. And I think, I don't know, it's not really normalized. Like people will just kind of like brush it off. You're exaggerating. You're doing too much. Like you're seeking attention. But it's like,
I feel like those are the things we should be talking about on Women's Day.
Yeah.
Like countries like Kenya who give you a menstrual leave.
Yes.
That's what I want. Like,
Yes,
7 days to rest. You're not in your best state for work.
yeah.
That was
So can I just interject? Sorry.
Yes.
I'm going to be asking like the dumb male brain questions which we be having about this. The pain, is it like a uniform shared experience type? Like it's the same for every woman, or
No,
it's like
no.
varied?
No. Women are like snowflakes.
It's not the same for every woman, and even for each woman, each month won't be the same.
Yeah.
So you could have a really like a 1 month where it's like it's painful, but you're able to move around and you can do things, and then like your next month is I can't even move, I'm crawling. It's really that bad, you know. So
That's me.
you can't, and you know what I can't stand is the narrative that you've been bleeding at this point for 20 years. How are you not over it?
Yeah.
Like you do this every month. Like how are you not prepped? How are you not ready? Are you? Don't be stupid. Like I'll fight you because it hurts every month. It hurts, and worse if you're me who gets pre-cramps, then cramps, then post-cramps. Like I only have 1 week of normalcy, and then I'm back to pre-cramps, and then I've got ovulation cramps, you know, and then you've got actual cramps, and then you've got post-cramps, because now your body's like, okay, let's go back, you know what I mean? Like it's never normal.
I think for me, I can go sometimes without cramps at all. And it really depends on like, you know, I can feel it if I'm like not going to the gym, I've been eating rough and I've been stressed out a lot. That's when I can get really intense cramps. But then if I'm like, you know, in a good space, I've been trying to take care of myself, then I can actually have no cramps. But what I do experience quite vividly, and I feel like it intensifies in your 20s, is just like the hormonal and mood changes. Where it's like just like before my period, I can be like just watching a reel on Instagram, and next thing I'm crying. And I'm like, I'm crying.
That's how you know.
And I'm like, oh,
That's how you know.
it's time.
It's time.
almost
I literally check my calendar. I'm like, you know what? You're not a bitch.
Yeah.
You're hormonal.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're close. Yeah.
There've been videos on TikTok where guys actually wear simulator. I don't know if you've watched those ones, MMV. And the men will really be like, yo. Because like they put one on a woman and then they put another one on a guy. So they were like standing next to each other. And she was trying to explain, okay, this is level 1. Some people experience this. This is level 5, this is level 10. And you could see the stark difference because the woman was really chill. Like at level 10, she's like, this is actually the pain I feel every month. She's like, yeah, you've gotten to my period now. You've gotten to my period. And the guy was, I was struggling. He was struggling. So the pain is hectic.
Apparently cramps, right? Like when you experience cramps during your period, the pain level is akin because essentially your uterus is contracting, right? So it's almost like you're having contractions, like labor. But then it's only like with labor you need to be dilated like 10 centimeters. But then these cramps are maybe like 1 centimeter kind of dilated. So it's intense. And, you know, I think, it's intense. Like, we go through it, hey?
I think what's tough is like sort of, for me, I sort of had to accept that, you know, it's a thing. No one cares. And I just became like a painkiller pop. I just know if it's like 2 painkillers pop and then, especially like in a corporate work environment, it's like, when am I going to stop and start explaining that I'm
gonna
experiencing
cry.
Exactly.
already? You're losing 10 opportunities just by acknowledging the elephant in the room that, oh, by the way, guys, I'm a girl. And then it's like immediately not taken seriously.
Yeah.
And even in the workspace, I find, things like sani bins are overlooked, particularly when your workspace is managed by males. Like they don't think to include a sani bin in the ladies' toilet. And it's like, okay, so now you're stressed because you're like, okay,
Where do I put
where do I put my...
But I can't flush
how
it
do
down.
I can't flush it down the toilet.
Yeah.
Like, am I gonna pop it in my bag? Like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
At some point, because I know at our old place, like we didn't have a sani bin for a really long time, and it got to a point where, like, because I was new at the job, so I had to like bring a little period bag because there's no sani bin in the toilet. So now I actually had to like have a little bag where I put all the stuff that I'm disposing, all my new things, so that when I get home, I'm disposing. But it's like it's so messed up because much like how we always want to make sure that there's disabled access or whatever. Like people don't think, women also bleed. Like,
Can I be honest? I've never heard this. What's a sani bin?
sani bin, yeah.
So where do we buy these? Just for like as niggas who like maybe run places and stuff, like so that we just know.
So I know that there's companies that offer like sanitary or hygienic services where they just bring in a bin for you that's lined or whatever. Then they'll bring in like little plastics for people to dispose their used sanitary wear in, and they come after every week or so. They collect, they dispose of that by themselves. That's obviously for like public settings, obviously, and then when you're at home, you've got your own methods of disposing.
Did you guys have those old school incinerators at school?
I don't
At
remember.
Convent we had. It's like it's like this like big metal box with like a little like a cubby hole where you throw in the things, and then it like has a self incineration system that they switch on every now and then to like burn all the stuff. It looks like quite like an old. We just designed the sani bin. I think the sani bin is now the more popular thing where you just dispose of, but then that was an old system that,
Sorry, going completely on a tangent, but I just remembered something we were talking about disposing. Do you remember, I don't know if anybody else heard this, but the myth in that, say if you wear a pad, you'd have to wash it out before you throw it away.
That was the devil.
Did you get that? That was at that point where I switched to tampons.
Yeah.
Because I said I didn't have time to
Because
sit and wash
apparently,
out.
so like, because I remember my mom was like, oh yeah, you need to like wash it, whatever. And I was like, girl.
But essentially the point is, because especially if you throw it like in a home bin, and then it goes with random bin people, right?
Like you don't want them to do any
the
witchcraft on your
witchcrafty
blood.
people will come take your blood and like do things with it to wash it out and then throw it away. I kind of think it was one of those myths just to say we don't know when these people will come collect, so it'll stink.
Clean.
So just to clean it out, just so that we're like not throwing it away. But I felt like that's what the intention was, but then they scared us with
the story.
the story of.
For me, I
Maroon.
think we had a dog once that would literally
I already don't like with the
that would
story.
fish it out of the bin. Oh my god, no!
And you see, once you've thrown it out, you're like, it's gone. Now you're trying to pick it up again. I was like, what the fuck, dog?
And it's one of those ways, definitely mine, and it's like, oh my goodness.
No dog.
So I think for me that also became a reason to just like rinse and
dispose.
But no, that was the ghetto though, to be honest. I'm glad there's tampons because that was the
not
ghetto.
it. And then also, what about like this whole myth around tampons and how like, oh, if you use tampons it means you're not a virgin, and it's just like associated
That's the
with
dumbest
promiscuity. I know so many girls, especially even up to university, who wouldn't use tampons because they're literally not allowed, and if their mom found out, they'd be in trouble.
I get it because initially, I guess the whole point is it's penetration. Right? You're sticking it up there.
The thing is,
penetration.
but not longer than your baby finger.
I mean, I guess because then maybe in their defense they are innocent, so they don't know how long penises actually are. So then they think that it's the same size as the tampon.
For me also, it's like the difference in the level of comfort is like, come on, because like a pad is like literally wearing a diaper.
Yeah.
Whereas a tampon is like all that stuff is being absorbed inside. It's comfortable. You can almost like move on with your life, and it's like,
You can like forget it's happening.
So like, why are you attaching guilt to something that's just like making my life a little bit
Easier.
more bearable?
But I guess it is. It's one of those, the shame around women's bodies, the things that happen, sex, all of that. So the aunties always really get onto you, like promiscuity, what's happening. It makes it almost seem like what's happening in your body is unnatural.
Yeah.
Yet we all do it.
And that's why we don't know the 4 stages of your menstrual cycle.
Because I only learned
it's so
that
harsh. Why is it that I'm now 15 and you can now get pregnant? Don't let your dad know that you're on your period.
Were you 15 when you got your period?
I was 10.
But
the basic age is 15. That was grade 5.
Guys,
that was the same.
Yeah.
I was
grade 5 as well.
No, actually grade 6.
I was like form 1, form 2, and I was so stressed because I was like, yo, okay.
Wait,
you thought you were the first?
Listen.
No, as in I knew I was like the last, like by last, but still.
I'm about to win. I was grade 4.
Grade 4.
I was grade 4, but like grade 4 December. So I was 9, but like that December holiday.
Guys, that's
in grade 4.
Yeah, but I
guys were babies.
didn't know. Why did you tell me?
I was a child. And you know what the problem is?
So that I could know that I wasn't alone.
We knew we weren't alone because people started having their periods when we were in grade 4.
Yeah.
And it was such even the teachers make it very difficult.
Right.
We're at a girls' school. We all know this is going to happen at some point.
Eventually.
Why are we ostracizing the girl who just spoiled her dress?
Yeah.
Like, why is it such a big deal? So, I don't know. I don't know why we associate
I was at a
shame.
mixed school, but it was also just like just started a period.
You know what? I kind of like the dudes. So I was also at a mixed school, right? But the boys made it worse. You know what I mean? Because even if, especially at that age, I think grade 4, I think I was the only one that got her period. So I was the first one in my entire class. Grade 5, people started joining me, but at that point I was now a pro at what this period thing was. Grade 6, grade 7, now when like I think the majority of people were now getting them. So it would be a situation where maybe you spoil your dress and then the teacher says, boys, go outside, go do some, right? And then the girls, and then you would stay, get a change.
Those are my qualms, though.
But you see,
like those
because
are my qualms.
now that the boys knew why they were leaving, so now they would come back wanting to know which girl it was. So then they'll be like, was it Amanda? Was it Amanda? And then, but you can tell, right? Because Amanda's now changed her uniform, right? So now Amanda's wearing a fresh uniform, so it's like, it was definitely Amanda. And then it kind of becomes, okay, Amanda's now a woman, Amanda's now a thing. So the boys also made it so, but in obviously the teacher's defense, there's no way they could also say, Amanda, stand up, go to the bathroom when your whole seat is spoiled, your whole dress is spoiled. You know what I mean? So they had to have the boys leave, but it became a thing where they didn't then. Their problem was not teaching us then what it was and what was happening and not telling the boys or teaching the boys sensitivity to say be sensitive when the girls are going through this.
Because now look, MMV is going to have a wife or a girl child.
Imagine.
And I've met guys who actually say, I would never go into the shop and buy sanitary wear for a loved one. And I'm like,
being engaged.
what do you mean?
Jump in on that point. When you were talking about the whole spoiling situation, it actually made me think of this time when I was on my attachment. And we were out at like some sort of training somewhere. And I think one of my coworkers like had like a situation she had spoiled, right? The way the women moved like SWAT team to like, I didn't even know what was happening. I was like, is the president here? What's going on? Like, it was just like, hey, yeah, you need to go somewhere. Well, by the time I found out what had actually happened, it was like hours later. I was actually thinking like, yo, it's a myth, like she actually like passed out or like someone's dying or something like that. And it's like, no, this is what happened. I was like, oh, okay, interesting.
I think it's just this thing of how we've been taught from then to have to sort of tiptoe around it and make it comfortable for the guys. Like, to the extent that, like what I'm saying, like where it's at work, I've got cramps. I'm going to pop pills and move on before I stop to say, oh, guys, I'm on my period. Like I remember once, like my first full trial, like conducting a trial, I got my period that day and I had cramps like a mother and I had no painkillers. Guys, and there was no way. How am I going to say to the judge, can we postpone the trial, the whole trial, because I'm in pain?
And trials are long.
Yeah. And then I tell my client, because then again it's a trial, so you know you've brought in witnesses. It's like the dates are like so sensitive. You even get a date. I tell my client, oh, I can't do the trial. Why? Nah, can't. So I had to grit my teeth and go through it. Guys, my cross-examination, I was angry. I remember once, like the witness, I wanted him to read something. So I'm like, okay, so it's the contract that you got. Yeah, so read that line. And then he starts reading the wrong thing. And then I'm like, must I remind you that you are under oath? and then the judge is like, counsel, that's what mine says as well. And I'm like, oh.
I'm indebted.
So, no, indebted. It's the other one. So it was just like, but then the fact that I had to grit through that whole experience, to me, I think is a bit unfair. But then it's more like we've spent all of our lives having to adjust to the world. And like I think also to this TikTok education where they always differentiate to say how a man's hormone cycle resets every day, whereas us we're on this month-long turn. Exactly. And I think only since I started working for myself, I've had the freedom to adjust my work to my cycle, and I found that like makes such a big difference. Where I'm like, okay, so if I'm on my period and I want to rest, I can rest. And then when I'm in the cycle stage where like the hormones are up and I've got more energy, and I maximize on that.
So the phase you're talking about is the follicular phase, right? Which is the longest phase of your menstrual cycle, and it lasts 14 to 21 days.
So explain, is that when the egg is...
So that's when
it's released.
That's when your ovaries, so they're basically cooking the egg, right? The egg is now developing, and at this time, the level of your estrogen rises, causing the lining of your uterus to start building up, so your endometrium. So here, in your ovaries, your egg is being prepared to be released during ovulation, and your uterus is being lined with the endometrium. So this is your happiest. This is when you are your happiest because your estrogen levels are high. But not everybody will be feeling happy during this time. It obviously depends on...
I told you mine last 7 days.
Exactly. So your follicular period, you could be happy for 7 days. She could be happy for 14 or to 21 days and be actually productive, you know. And then obviously at the end of the follicular phase, that's where your ovulation starts. So when the mature...
That's a terrible time.
Thursday. Can we though? Just for Tuesday.
I love the way MMV is learning today.
Can we talk about the heat that you feel in ovulation?
Yeah, ovulation.
When you say heat, do you mean temperature?
I know.
On heat.
On heat.
Like,
well, that's because your hormones are almost at 50%. Like, this is the highest level of your hormones.
Okay, so basically, this is for MMV. This is the moment when your body says, we want a baby. We want a baby now. Come on.
when I say
we want to
that those hormones
will be doing the most.
I don't make a baby. It's time. It's time.
Guys, also ovulation only lasts for 16 to 32 hours. But then, so the actual ovulation is very short. But you have an ovulation period of like, ovulation window of like
meaning
4
the
days.
actual release of the egg.
Yes.
So is that the time when people, if they're trying to get pregnant, that's
Yes.
But anyway, that period.
I saw a TikTok once.
Dangerous.
I saw a TikTok once about a girl who was like explaining to her man why she cheated. And she's like, but I was ovulating, you don't understand.
And honestly,
I don't blame her. You don't think straight. I don't want to lie to you. Your brain does not work during that. Like, you're not thinking.
You're literally
Everything is a good idea. Every person is a good idea. It just is
Full
a
disclosure.
good idea.
So full disclosure, I saw this tweet where this nigga was like, when you know her cycle, did you know that it's game time?
literally.
And you know what? I actually really encourage dudes to especially if you're dating, know your honey's cycle, where she is within the cycle, just so you don't irritate each other. Because a lot of these things with hormones, she doesn't even understand when she's irritable. She's not thinking she's irritable. She's just thinking you're irritating her. But not that she's irritable because of hormones. It's just that you're irritating, But if you can understand that, no, she's at this point of her cycle, you also won't take it personally when you're irritating her. Because, and you also won't irritate her. You will be nice, be kind, also buy her flowers.
I feel like there's like this comment though, like don't be like, ugh, you're being like this because are you on your period? Are you on your period? What's wrong? Oh, I hate that.
PMSing.
I hate that so much. That's the only part you men understood. Not the ovulation, not the nice times, not the when I'm energetic. You just want to know when I have PMS so you can say, are you on your period? Huh? Why are you so angry? Ugh.
Wait, does chocolate actually help?
It's a craving.
It's a craving.
It's not my craving.
Because you'll be needing magnesium in your body.
Yeah.
So usually they say it's actually an indication that something is lacking when you're having like unhealthy cravings. But again, it depends on the person. So even if you learn something about one woman, don't necessarily apply it to the next woman because it won't be the same. Some might actually just like
If you buy me chocolate, I'm throwing it at your head. Because you already know I don't eat chocolate, and then you think this is going to make it in. Don't be dumb.
girls like
Don't be stupid. Buy me flowers.
annoying.
Send me money.
Actually, come on, money.
Send me money.
So what do you guys think about the whole period present thing? I had an argument with a friend. If you actually listen to this, shout out. But he had taken a very hard stance about not buying a present for his girl on a period, and
A
became
present? What is
just
it?
like period present or package,
Like a
or
care- like a care package.
that type of thing, where she sort of wanted that kind of a gesture. He thought it was just extortion. To put it plainly, but basically,
12 times a day I made to beg you a gift.
Do you know what? I think
Plus Valentine's Day and your birthday.
Sorry.
Mother's Day and Christmas.
sorry.
Women's Day.
Anniversary.
No, wait. And then your first date's anniversary, the day he asked me out anniversary, the day we come on.
To be honest, I don't think that it's wrong necessarily to. Okay, wait. I think it's okay to do it here and there. As we've always said this, you need date someone you actually like. If you like me, and you see that this time this one is going through the most, and if you have an extra $20, if not, why not?
Yeah.
Right? If you can do it, I think it's okay to do it. But I don't think it should be an expectation for like every month you need to set up something. And it may not necessarily be an actual gift, but maybe like, what can I do to make your life better? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
could
okay,
be like just
do you need me to
eating
go
soup
buy your
from
groceries
food
for you? Like, today, it's a Saturday, you're on your period, stay at home. I'll do whatever you need me to do. I'll
that
run
would
your
be so
errands.
nice,
That's cute.
Yeah. For me, I think because even our chat, I think it's just like missing the point.
Yeah.
Because I guess some people will be like making it more of a demand and an entitlement thing. But I think it's really just like show some compassion or some care for the person. Like what we were saying before, to say actually take time to learn your girl's cycle. But it's not a thing of like weaponizing it. It's a thing of just like saying, oh, I acknowledge and respect that you're going through this at this time. And, you know, pay attention to the little things. If she likes to have tea, you know, just make her a cup of tea. It doesn't have to be
It doesn't have to be
a cash bouquet, but like, I mean, you can.
It's nice.
It's
So,
that's nice too.
throughout the year, sorry to cut you.
It's okay. No.
So throughout the year, the periods when you're going through your cycle, like on a monthly basis, it varies, right? The times when it's intense, like maybe January was crazy, and February it was chill. Was it just like every time?
In terms of flow,
Pain.
cramps, like, or is it just like custom to every month?
Again, depends on the girl.
different.
Mine is like a box of chocolates. Like I don't know.
You don't know what you're gonna get. Yeah, same.
I don't know what I'm gonna get.
I don't know when it's coming. I don't know the intensity. I don't know if there's gonna be cramps or not in that equation. I don't know.
I'm actually very regular. So essentially it's just pain. Just
Pain. Full
the whole and mine again, I know exactly when it's coming. I know I can even tell you to the hour what time it's arriving. It's very regular and I can guarantee you day 1 to day 3, I'm in tears. Day 4,
Hey,
yeah. Day 4 is like
deserve a bouquet of
5,
Yeah.
6. I can forget that it was there. You know, now it's like the spotting. I can forget that it's there.
Yeah.
You know, but like 1 to 3,
For me, if it's pain, it's just day 1. And then we're good.
same.
Mine is day 2.
Oh, that's the
pain.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Day 2 and maybe day 3. Day 1 is like a surprise. This is what's happening. And then day 2 is like, oh Lord,
We're here, baby.
I can't even get out of bed today, but I have to go to work. So
Yeah.
let's do this. Day 3 is like, okay, I'm getting into it now. Then mine is 4 days. And for day 4 it's like, okay, can it go now? Thanks for showing me that I'm not pregnant. You can go now.
Another
But
announcement.
I think for me as well, like what we were saying, the more you actually learn about the stuff and the more awareness you have, it becomes a little bit more predictable. Because I realized that I was in a high stress environment for so long that my body didn't know what it's like not to be stressed. So which is why it was erratic and pain. Like, I mean, I could even skip a period just because of stress. And then like now you're stressed that you've skipped your period, but it's like, you know, sometimes you know nothing, you know, but then like literally it's not coming.
why?
Oh my God, it's happening. And it's because of stress, because it's like you go from low degree to like working at a law firm, you're like on all 24/7. So exams, all sorts of things. And so if you're not in an environment where you're able to sort of flow with your body, because what I've learned growing up, especially as a woman, the less you fight against your nature, the easier things kind of go.
Yeah.
But then we live in a world that doesn't recognize all that stuff. So you have to fight against your nature to survive. And that's what makes the whole experience even worse.
And then what's the next stage?
So the final stage is the luteal phase. So some women feel fatigued at this stage. Sometimes your body can even change, like you can even be bloated.
Yeah, that's me.
So yeah, this is where your body produces more progesterone. So you may feel tired and you just feel like shit.
Yeah, that's
And your mood
for me,
is
that's
trash.
my worst. I'm so grumpy. I'm just like crying. Like I remember,
And then your period comes. So after the luteal period, it's like, oh.
and then it's your period.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, that's why I was feeling like shit, because my period is coming tomorrow.
How do you guys, does the period calendar work for you or no?
Mine works.
So,
You say like that.
Like the app?
so the app period calendar, does
Like I
it work?
said-
Because you said yours is erratic.
Yeah.
So does it follow the schedule or not?
Sometimes sometimes it does, but like, I don't know, I've had issues like from when I actually started, because I was never regular from day one. So even the app can't really like piece together everything. So that's why I say, like, I don't know when it comes. When it comes, it comes.
Question: has anyone ever tried hormonal birth control or knows about that? And it's
What is hormonal birth control?
The pill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So apparently, it's not advisable actually to use hormonal birth control to regulate your hormones. So I'll say from experience, as I said, I've had irregular periods from a long time, and I had gone to my doctor and he was like, oh, your hormones are that of a 14-year-old. And I was like 20 something. And he's like, girl, the levels
Grow up.
Yeah. And so he was like, okay, look, I would have ordinarily wanted you to kind of like, if you want to start a family, then I would suggest you go on to like hormonal birth control to regulate. But then he's like, if you're not starting a family, girl, just let your body catch up to you. Let your hormones actually just catch up. I am.
I take the pill and I've never had issues.
For me, there was a time where I think I had maybe PCOS or something of the thing, which is the
Cystic ovarian.
Where, but I don't know. It's probably just the symptoms, but it's when your hormones are not regular, like what Shido was talking about, and then it caused, like in my early 20s, the most hectic acne.
Acne.
Hormonal acne.
It's like, you go through. I had like teenage acne, whatever, and then just like early 20s, boom. I had like terrible cystic like acne all over. Like I think it takes a certain portion of your face. If I take off the concealer, I think you can still see scars. But I got like this really, really bad acne, and then the recommendation was for some people the pill works, and I actually got onto the pill for some time. It sorted out the regularity of my periods. It also sorted out the acne. It cleared out. And then now my fear was like, okay, so if I stop taking the pill, because then there's also a whole bunch of other things that you hear about taking the pill. So I prefer, like what Chido was saying, like let my body be. So I didn't like the idea of being like medicated for that long. So I gave it some time, and then I was just like, okay, let me see what happens if I stop. Because my fear was like, what if I stop taking the pill and then the acne comes back? Because I was like, yeah, no, I choose being pretty than having babies. So I was like, yes. But then I stopped it eventually when I started reading around also just like more natural ways of dealing with irregular hormones, which is like really what you eat. I've seen a lot of these charts about where they attach certain kinds of nutrition to a certain phase of your cycle. I've started trying to do that a lot more exercise, and that's actually helped.
And there's also exercises for the gym for your cycle.
Exactly.
So certain things that you should do. And I think that's the thing though. It seems like a lot of work, but I think once you understand your body and really take the time to learn it, I think
it gets better.
The pain is still the pain though. Kind of have to go through it, but it's alright.
Okay, so because it's Women's Month, right? We came across a couple of places that are offering Women's Month service, like screening services. So please listen up. There's the Cancer Association of Zimbabwe that is offering a screening special from the 4th to the 29th of March. They're basically going to be screening for cervical cancer and breast cancer for only $5. So please, guys, please take care of yourselves. Go and get screened for cervical cancer and breast cancer. And also the New Start Center is offering free cervical cancer screening. Now, also guys, can we actually just all go? I mean, not as a group. Like,
definitely as a group.
Let's go as a group and hold hands as we get cervical.
And take selfies.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, before we close off this week's episode as well,
and get your pap smears done, please. just do it.
What does
And your
Pap smear
mammograms, just go get
HPV.
your... Just go get
Different
checked.
from the cervical cancer screening.
HPV is what causes the cervical cancer.
So
So the Pap smear is the cervical cancer
Yeah,
screening.
but it's just it's in good practice.
But that's
to get
that
a
mental
Pap smear
thing.
and do your mammograms, check your boobies. You know,
that metal thing sometimes
for the Pap smear.
It's
will
just fight
deter some of us from going.
Oh, but we're going this time around.
Can I
It's
tell
not
you
anyway.
Okay, I'll tell you after this.
All right. Anyway, before we close off this week's episode, so during this year's Women's Month, let's remember the women and girls in the DRC, where many are facing gender-based violence, displacement, food insecurity. We will always advocate for the women and young girls in Afghanistan, where girls are barred from receiving education. And we remember the girls and women who have lost their lives in the war between Israel and Palestine, and those who are still fighting for their lives. We stand with the women and girls in Sudan who face high risks of gender-based violence in the world's largest displacement crisis. Any other shout-outs?
Survivors of sexual assault. I think it's really tough, it's really hard, and many cases go really unreported, and the stats are getting scarier and scarier. So all the girls that are survivors of sexual assault and rape.
Yeah. So shout out to all the women. Thank you for listening. We love you. Peace.